Hello fish fools, Jeff here. So picking up where I left off from my previous video, we're looking at one of my 10-gallon aquariums. This is a miscellaneous Livebearer and Catfish community tank. So in my previous video I was showing how I had a breeder box in here that had guppy and lure hybrids and platy youngsters in it, and I just released them. I just did a water change and let out the youngsters, so here we can see some of them swimming around, and the guppy and lure hybrids, most of them have grown enough, but the platies didn't do much growing while they were in the breeder box, so hopefully now that they've been released they will be able to swim around and graze. If I can find anything to point out. Yeah, this one right here, really small. For as old as it is, it should be bigger than that, but maybe now they can have more access to food. So I put some rapashi food in here. There's some right there. Some random chunks around, and right here that's a Sarah Spirulina veggie tab. That one I just let sink. I have another one stuck to the glass here, and I also put some Cobalt Smartemia in here. That's a baby brine shrimp alternative food, so that's what they're all eating. So did a couple things when I did the water change. So I put some of the Anacharis stems, planted them over here. They were just floating, so I put some there. I anchored down some of the water sprite. All that was floating right there, and anchored some over here on the spiderwood. And as I mentioned, I just added that sponge filter, so already it's pretty much covered with crud. There's a couple chunks of rapashi food that had fallen on top of it. And so this tank has guppies. I have one red cobra guppy, two of these, what are these called? Red Dragon Dumbo Schmumbos. I had 4, so I lost 2. I had 2 of these and I lost 1, so that's just the 1. I had 2 of these red scarlet endlers, still have the 2, and one of those is the father of most of those. Most of the fry in here, the ones that were in the breeder box. Have a couple of lime green endlers. There's one, and I think, yeah, there's the other one. There's 2. I think I have 2 left. I had a few more, and I have at least 4 Pandagaras. I had 5, but the most I've been able to find lately is 4. And even before I just did that water change, I could only find 2, and I was kind of upset about that. I thought I lost them, but yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, I noticed before I'd not, I just wouldn't be able to find some sometimes, and I noticed that they go, because I have an under gravel filter in here, and they go down the tube. And I thought they might be hidden in the tube, but I couldn't even find them in the tube. So then I just thought, I lost them. But then after doing water change, I saw one coming out, and I realized they not only just going down the tube, but they're going within the crate that's under the gravel. So 2 of them have come out, so maybe the 5th one is still underneath there. And I have 6 of these black neon tetras in here. Right here on the this one, an auto sinkless right there, one right there on the spiderwood. There's at least 4 in here, and there's a bunch of pygmy corridors. There's one there. There's most of them are grouped up in the back. Oh, there you can see some hovering around in the back there. It's really cool seeing them swimming around in a group like that when they got a catfish that hover like that. It's pretty awesome. And there's my white guppy. So that's, I've had that for about 1.5 years now. And initially wasn't, I was going to move it to my 30-gallon. It never ended up happening, and now it's still in here, and now it's looking pretty old. So I've had it for 1.5 years, and it was probably at least 6 months old, and who knows. And now it's like an elderly fish. Like guppies maybe live out 2 to 3 years, perhaps. Alright, let's look up here. See some of the fry, maybe. There's a fry right there. There's one of those platies, really tiny. But yeah, awesome mix of fish in this tank. But I do think I'm going to finally move some around as intended to other tanks. While I'm down, I have only 2 of these left. I think I want to move one to my 30-gallon. I may even move all the Pandagaras in there, because I don't really like how they disappear. So I think I might move them to my 30-gallon. Look at the pygmy corridors. They're so awesome. When I got these, there were at my local fish store. They had one time they had a bunch of them, and I got the rest of them. They had 26 in the tank, and I got all of them. I got the whole lot. Prior to that, because I do have pygmy corridors in some of my other tanks. I have some in my other 10-gallon guppy on the hybrid tank, and my 3.5-gallon Neocaridina shrimp tank, which is also now a guppy in the hybrid tank as well. But I've only been able to get 4 at a time. Every time my local fish store has had them when I was there, I got the rest of what they had. On 3 other occasions they had 4, and I got the last 4, and then I was fortunate enough to be there when they had a bunch, and they had 26 that other time. This platy right here is not looking so good. That's a shame. But that platy's looking good. So I have 2 males in here. One, I have a pair of these. This is it's called a Dawn platy, so that's the male. There's a female in here. Right here, there's a Green Lantern platy. Rich John sent that to me. And there's the female Dawn platy. Oh yeah, and I have a couple Julie corridors in here too. There's one right there. And where the other one is. I think I need to bring these together because I have one left in my 30 gallon, so I should move these two in there so they can hang out. Yeah, there's the other one. One thing that's kind of interesting with these, where the substrate in this tank is lighter, they themselves are lighter. The one in my 30 gallon has black gravel, black substrate in. It's darker, it's like blacker, it's darker, it kind of looks like black and silver compared to these that are, just by comparison, are lighter. I noticed that with my bronze corridors too, some that have substrate like this and some in another tank with black substrate in there. Noticeably different. They adapt to the substrate. There's the spirulina tab. Alright. Well, that's it for now. And remember, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies. Thanks for watching.